All right, let's get into recasting a movie. Friday, baby. This is a really tough one. If you can, go ahead and put in your comment sections and say who you think would be a good person to play Smokey, because that was probably the toughest one. I had a tough time with Debo and Smokey. All the rest I had a pretty good time. We picked seven of the top cast members. You could go a little bit deeper. You could go a little bit less, however you want to do it. We're not going to get too in-depth on why we picked these people, because we want to keep this show about an hour, and we're approaching that right now. So we're going to try and do this for about 10 minutes or so, maybe less, and we'll get right into it. So recasting a movie.
There's a lot of heavy breathing over here because I'm just so not confident in this list.
Yes. So as of right now, let's see. Finns. Wait, what happened? We have 14 votes. Finns are in second right now. Jets are in first.
There you go. That's where I am.
So it's getting there. All right. We got. We'll start with the lead character, Ice Cube. For me, Ice Cube was the easiest one, and I tried to fit other people into this category.
Yeah.
His age was a little bit of a concern, but I was like, you know what? This guy can play a little bit younger. He looks a little bit younger. I think he can play younger. Okay. And he's done it once before. And that's O'Shea Jackson Jr. I think he should portray his father in this role once again. Because, to be honest, Craig, not the best character in the movie. Doesn't have to have a large acting skill. He doesn't have to have the wide acting range. Doesn't have to have much at all. Just needs to act a little high at one point in time, and needs to knock Debo out. Other than that, there's not much that he really needs to do, because there's the other characters. No, so you can't. I didn't pick Smokey. So, okay, we have Clint says Smokey may be Kevin Hart. Problem is Kevin Hart's 41 years old.
Yeah,
and Smokey when he played this character was 23.
Kevin Hart, and again, I think when Tim and I were talking about it, I think he even had said Kevin Hart. Right. Also as Smokey, and that just does seem like
it's the right fit.
Yeah.
If it was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Right.
That's the tough part. That's the tough part for me is the age, because I was like, holy crap, I got to find a young Regina King.
The only problem with Kevin Hart is that he's kind of jacked, though.
Now he is. He wasn't back then. When he was 20. If you picked him when he was 20.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you can't be more slight than Chris Tucker. So.
He was thin. Yeah, he was thin. Such an iconic character. Such an underrated actor in general. Like, he was so cool in his movies.
Like, if you could almost just pick any guy.
So funny.
To recast it, although this guy's probably literally older than Chris Tucker. Like, Dave Chappelle would be great as Smokey.
Possibly, yeah.
You know?
He's a little too mellow.
But again, he's probably older.
He's a little too mellow, though. Yeah, he is probably older. He's a little too mellow. I had a lot the guy that I really wanted for this character, but then I looked at his age and I'm like, holy crap, he's 38. Was Damon Wayans Jr. Damon Wayans Jr. would fit him perfectly, because he can do that high stuff and he can do all that stuff, and he can act like that. But he's 38.
If you go back and watch Dave Chappelle in Blue Streak, you would say, yes, he could play Smokey. All right, so is it my turn then to do Craig Jones?
I think it'd be tough. Yeah, go ahead, do Craig Jones. He was 25. Ice Cube was 25 when this movie...
Again, I am throwing age out the window here. I had to. I just couldn't find...
Another character I had there was John Boyega. I thought John Boyega could play...
I almost had Boyega somewhere in this movie, but I just couldn't figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I went with Donald Glover for Craig Jones. I love Donald Glover.
I like that.
I even like the look. I could actually...
Donald Glover was one of my guys to possibly play Smokey.
Okay. All right.
But
all right, so...
So
speaking of Smokey...
But he's 37. He's freaking old as hell.
I know.
All these actors are old as hell. And they don't look it. They all look like they're in their late 20s.
I know. So that was also part of the problem, because I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, okay, but he looks like he could be young enough, but he's not.
He's almost 40. Jesus Christ.
Right. So.
All right. So yeah, that you have Donald Glover. I have O'Shea Jackson Jr., who is still 30. He's still 5 years older than his father was when he played that movie. So.
Yeah, but that's at least
it's close.
Acceptable.
And Boyega's 29.
Yeah.
Another guy who I originally put for this role, I was like, you know what? Nope. I want him as Smokey. So that's what I ended up doing. Because I think that's how good his range is, and I think he's just a quirky guy, and I think he can play it. He's not as slight, though. He's not slight.
Who like is this?
Smokey. We're going to end with Smokey. We'll end with Smokey.
Okay.
Because I think that's the hardest one. So let's go to the next one, which I thought was difficult. You didn't think it was difficult. Let's go to Debo. So Debo was 37 years old when this movie came out.
Yeah.
So you get a little more flexibility. And I had people across the line. I was like, oh, let me look. The Rock, I can't do The Rock. Rock is jacked, but like he's just not, and he's also almost 50. He just turned 49.
Yeah.
So it's 12 years. I feel like that's a little too much. And then I was looking at it, I was like, oh, wait, what about Terry Crews? Oh, no, he's 52. Crap. All right. And then I was like looking at other people. Like I even went to the WWE route. I looked at Bobby Lashley. I was like, okay. Big nice. E. I was like, Big E. Oh, no, I can't really do that. I was like listening to the personalities. I was like, nah, I don't really see it.
Lashley, maybe. Not Big E.
Yeah. And then I was like, Laz Alonso. Because Lashley's 44. Like, I'm like, holy crap. And then I was like, Laz Alonso, who plays in The Boys as Mother's Milk, does a great job, but he's 47. I'm like, that's too old. Yeah. So finally I came along the lines. There was a couple of guys that I came up with, but Mike Coulter was another one, but he's 44. He was like a guy, he was in the Bourne Identity movie, and he's a big dude, but can fight. Winston Duke, M'Baku from Black Panther. I want him to be Debo. That's who I picked. He's 34 years old. He's right around the same age. Dude's huge, jacked, can be intimidating. He just has to learn to do that, like, you know, the one eye in and one eye straight kind of deal. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he said Donald Glover as Smokey might work. The problem is Donald Glover, 37 years old. Smokey, when Chris Tucker played that guy, was 23. Huh.
I love that pick as Debo. Why? Because it was also mine, Winston Duke.
Did you really?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
It took me forever to get there.
That was my easiest.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Because he's big, he's imposing, and
I did not think in hell we were going to find similar characters. That's
I thought that, like, I was trying to picture a guy too with like shaved head.
Yeah.
Who I thought could just like look the part. And I was like, yeah, M'Baku. M'Baku looks the part.
He does.
That's a big dude.
Big dude.
But I also sort of like could kind of believe that maybe in just the right situation, Donald Glover could knock him out.
Donald Glover's so slight.
I know, so like Donald Glover like could beef up a little bit.
That's why you need O'Shea Jackson in there. He's got the weight behind him. You know,
right? I know.
He's got that Ice Cube weight behind him.
But that's our first match. Maybe our only one, but
I would assume.
But like I said, that was my easiest.
Timmy says that Donald Glover as Smokey might work.
It might.
Yeah, might. Potential.
Yep.
All right, let's get into. We haven't done Smokey yet. We're gonna do him last.
Wait. So I did want to say though that Timmy Tim's pick for Debo, which was so great, it had me laughing, was Nicole Bass.
Who the hell is that?
Nicole Bass, the now deceased former female bodybuilder that was very.
I had to look this up.
I'm Nicole Bass.
That was Jim Carrey.
Nicole Bass. Yeah, look up Nicole Bass. It just would have been a fun modern era twist on the role, which is why I thought it was hilarious.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But like,
God!
But like, I'm now trying to picture a fight between like Donald Glover and Nicole Bass, and I'm thinking like Nicole Bass would have killed him. It was funny when he first said it. I just like started laughing because I was like, "Oh my god, that would be great." I mean, it would be like a fun twist in the modern era, in the modern world of doing something like that.
Yeah, and I'll give you when we get to Smokey. I'm running the gamut here for people. Like I was all over the place. But all right, so let's get into. I'm gonna go into one that we both are gonna definitely do. And that's Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones, for me, it hit me immediately, almost instantly. He was 53. This guy's 60. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy could play him perfectly. He could be that kind of weird, weird dude, like kind of spraying the aerosol around and, saying all that. Yeah. Like he could do that perfectly without even like missing a beat and cash a check and see you later. Eddie Murphy could do that easily.
I picked one of Eddie Murphy's co-stars in Coming to America, Wesley Snipes.
Oh.
Which I thought would have been a fun little twist on the role.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good.
I wanted a little bit, like I was trying to go with like some star power a little bit for this. Donald
that's
Glover,
why I picked Eddie Murphy.
Duke, Wesley Snipes. Yeah, Eddie Murphy's great. No, I like it.
And this is the tough part, is that because back then, all these people didn't have any star power. And now you have Regina King, Academy Award winner. Chris Tucker, who was the highest paid actor for a little while. Yeah. You have Ice Cube, obviously, who's gone on and done tons of movies, great recording artist. There's so many actors in here. Even Nia Long has had a good career. Like, there's so many good ones. All right. Then we'll get into, so we just did Mr. Jones. Now let's do Dana Jones, who was played by Regina King. For me, this was a tough one because I originally wanted to pick Zoe Kravitz. And I didn't pick Zoe Kravitz because she's 32.
This is Dana, you said?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't pick Zoe Kravitz because she's 32 and 8-year difference. Even though I think she could play the character easily. So I ended up picking Zendaya. Or Zendaya, however you want to call it.
Yeah,
I picked her. I feel like she could fit that role easier than she could do something like Nia Long. And she has that kind of brashness to her too, which Regina King has. She exudes confidence. So I think that I like Zendaya.
Nice.
In that role.
Zoe Kravitz.
You did? Yeah. I could see her in that role. I could.
Yep.
I could. She's like 8 years older. Zendaya
Again,
is
I threw age out the window, as I said.
Zendaya is the same age as Regina King was at that time. So they're both 24. So
that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
The other one that I couldn't put in here that I wanted to was Tessa Thompson because she's almost 40.
Oh, I had her as Debbie.
You did?
Yes, I did.
So I didn't because she's almost 40. You know who I picked as Debbie? Yara Shahidi, who was the eldest daughter in Blackish.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, she's great.
And she's attractive. I could see her doing that run and and kind of giving that smile. Yeah. Like she's a gorgeous young lady. And
so you know what though? Like you and I are not far off on a lot of stuff here.
And she's 21.
There's a lot of overlapping names that you're mentioning. There's one that you've already mentioned, by the way, that's going to come into play later. So.
Whoa.
So.
All right. So now I'm going to do.
That was my Dana and Debbie.
I'm going to do our wild card here. Let's do our wild card.
Okay, sure.
Keith David would also be good for.
Yes, Keith David would be good as
For,
there's a lot of guys who could play.
Good one for Craig's dad.
Mr. Jones. So.
Yeah.
But
Yes, exactly. Who would you have here? Nicole Bass and Vera DeMille. Yes, Nicole Bass and Vera DeMille are
Vera DeMille
are the same people.
Vera DeMille.
All the steroids. All right. So we will get in. Let's do our wild card. So we got to pick one for whoever. And this guy I picked because he not only was an actor in the movie, but he also was a writer of this movie. And he wrote a couple other movies that were very kind of popular and iconic, especially like this. Mm-hmm. And that's the character who played Red.
DJ Pooh?
Yes, DJ Pooh. And I picked Jay Farrow to play him.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
I also took Red.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
Well, I wanted to do the pastor, but I was like, I am replacing.
I wanted to do Felicia.
I'm not replacing Bernie Mac.
I wanted to do Felicia.
Yeah.
I wanted to have, just because by Felicia. That's
right.
I wanted to do Felicia just because.
I know,
but I didn't.
I'm sure if my kids had the choice, they would have said, "Yeah, you got to do Felicia," and I'd have been like,
I think it would have been funny to see Zoe Kravitz play that. I think it would have been funny to play Zoe Kravitz to play that role, just that small role, picking her wedgie as she's leaving. Like, I think she could have played it off.
So for Red, I did Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh, very good. Okay, yeah. That's a good one.
Most notably, I think from Get Out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yes, I know.
But
yeah.
I thought he'd be a pretty cool choice. For that
I
role.
like that. That's a good
Like
one.
I said, I couldn't replace Bernie Mac, so
No.
I didn't do the pastor.
No,
I couldn't.
you
I couldn't
could,
replace
but
him.
you don't want to.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
No, I don't want
that's
to.
it. That's the thing. All right, so now the drum roll for the
Smokey.
finale here. We have Smokey. Who plays Smokey, aka Chris Tucker, who was 23 when this role happened. Now, I went across the line. I went Brandon Jackson, 37. I went Damian Wayans Jr., 38. Donald Glover, 37. I was like Marlon Wayans. I was like, he's got to be super old. Nope. Can't
Oh my
do that.
God.
Jay Farrow, I even had in this role, but I couldn't because 33. I was like, still, he's 10 years older. You know, I was like, all right, let's recast it to a different nationality. I said, you know who could do this? Same cadence, same, loudness. Aziz Ansari.
Ah.
Nope, can't do it. 38 years old. All these people are so old. I was like, yeah, that's a good one. And then I went really young, and I was like,
Aziz would have been good though.
yeah, he could have fit that role perfectly. He's got that same cadence. Miles Brenna, I think, or was that his name? No, Miles Brown and Miles Truitt. Those are two young actors, 16, 19, but I didn't have enough to be able to gauge to see if they could pull it off.
Yeah.
So the guy and then I even said like Kelvin Harrison Jr., who was my runner-up. Not known for a lot. Done some stuff. Kind of a over-the-top personality, but not like Chris Tucker. That doesn't have I think he could do that persona, but it's not in him. So what I chose is like, can't replace Chris Tucker as Chris Tucker. I need somebody with that kind of confidence, somebody quick wit, and a talented actor and I went a little bit older. I ended up going 9 years older. Daniel Kaluuya. Because I feel like even though he's a big dude, he could easily fill that role because did you pick that guy?
I almost did.
Oh, okay. Because he's got
and
that.
But I will tell you what
so
happened.
Quirky and weird and goofy and talented and smart. I feel like he could do that easily.
Okay, so what's funny about this is that he actually was my first choice, Daniel Kaluuya. I had him written down.
Yeah.
And then as I started to research it more, I decided to pivot, and go. I pivoted and went to a guy who you've mentioned multiple times now. And again, I threw age out the window here just because I was like, oh, wait a minute. I think this might be better. Damon Wayans Jr.
You did pick Damon James. He is amazing. He's just 38.
I know, but he does not look.
No. He looks like he's 30.
He looks 28.
Yeah, he looks like he's like, he looks young.
He's a kid. He looks like a kid.
He's so.
And he's
I love him.
hilarious.
Happy Endings, one of the greatest shows ever.
He is hilarious. But Kaluuya was my second.
Yeah,
he would have been my second because his range is incredible. He could do anything. I mean, he could do anything
easily.
So.
But he doesn't fit the Chris Tucker, the Smokey.
No. I mean,
and I don't think he's gonna lose weight for it.
No, but there are so many. But Damon Wayans Jr. also doesn't fit that slight build either. I mean, that's again, it's
he does. Damon Wayans Jr. he's thin.
It's the hardest role to recast.
But he's not that thin.
No, he's not that. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the hardest role. Chris Tucker is, again, going back to what we said earlier, so unique, such a distinct voice. It's impossible to recast him.
Yeah.
It just is.
Clint has a good one for looks, but I don't think he has the skill to do it. Which is
Jaden Smith. Yeah.
I like the fit.
Yeah, the fit, the look. Yeah, sure.
But I don't like the acting fit.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't have.
No.
He doesn't have it in him.
No.
Not in my opinion, anyway.
Not yet. Maybe not yet.
Yeah. I mean, he's relatively young, right?
He's young. Yeah.
He's got to be in his early 20s. 22.
Yeah.
Good age. I mean, maybe he could. Maybe this could be his breakout performance.
Maybe.
I wouldn't want to. If I was an actor, I wouldn't want to play that role.
So
that is the only role in this movie I would not want to play.
You and I were kind of dodging each other.
It's like the genie in Aladdin. You can't play Smokey. Like, that's ridiculous. How do you do that? Ridiculous.
This was fun, but it was horrible. It was horrible.
But made it fun.
Do it.
I thought it was.
It did.
I thought it was a good time.
Now that I hear like you and I there was multiple people that we did have in common, though, that we were like kind of close to each other on a lot of wave range here. I feel a little better about it.
Yeah,
I feel a little better about it.
It wasn't easy. I even had Booker T in there for
Sucker
for Debo.
Awesome.
For Debo.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be funny. By the way, fun little fact about Debo.
He's almost 60 years old.
Fun little fact about Debo. Debo Samuel of the NFL 49ers. That's not his real name. His real name is Tyshawn. Debo that was a
Based on
nickname
it?
he was given when he was
That's
a kid,
awesome.
based on
That's
the Debo
fantastic.
character. Yep.
That's fantastic.
And they did a fun little, before Tiny Lister passed away, they did this fun little, ESPN did this fun little vignette where they were interviewing Debo Samuel, and then Tiny Lister came in to the interview, and you know, like Debo Samuel turns around and sees him, he's like, oh shit. Like, whoa, wait a minute. It was fun. It was pretty cool.
So let's get into. We got to spin the wheel. Spin the wheel of destiny. Yeah. All right. Let's get into that. Do I have that? There it is.
You know what? Now that I think about the Animal House thing, I actually hope you kind of. I would actually like to recast Animal House. It would be ultra challenging, but it would be fun.
Here we go. Wheel of Destiny. Yeah, buddy. Wheel of Destiny. Spin that wheel. It's going to land on the same one that we just did. Mount Rushmore of Marvel movie characters.
Haven't we done this?
I don't think so.
Guess not, huh?
I don't think so.
Mount Rushmore of Marvel movie characters. All right, well, I mean, that's going to be pretty easy for me.
If you think we've already done it, we could do a secondary, like.
All right, how about we do another spin, and then let's choose between the two.
Okay.
How about that?
All right. Wheel of Destiny.
Again.
Oh, I timed that perfect. Look at that. Oh.